All right, man. I'm gonna talk about the only reason I think the Lions should pick up Jaire Alexander. I think it's only on one circumstance, and I'm going to explain that. But NFC North news: Packers cutting veteran All Pro. Green Bay Packers defense suffering a big loss that makes the secondary vulnerable. It says, according to several reports, the Green Bay Packers will be releasing veteran cornerback Jay Alexander on Monday. The news comes after the offseason speculation on what teams was going to do with the cornerback. Alexander has been undeniably talented for Green Bay, earning 2 Pro Bowl appearances and second team All-Pro honors since being drafted in the first round of 2018 NFL Draft. However, he has struggled to stay healthy in recent seasons. He's played just 4 games in 2021, 7 games in 2023, and 7 games in 2024. Heading into 2025, Alexander was set to make over 16 million in salary and take up nearly 25 million in cap space. That led many to believe that he either was going to be cut or traded this offseason, but no trade ever materialized. The Packers will take on over 17 million in that cap when they officially release Alexander, but because it's a post June 1st release, the cap hit will be spread between 7.5 or this year 7.5 and next 9.5. So that's why I was telling y'all you're gonna see a lot of post June 1st cuts. So you're gonna really have to pick your litter. Now the Lions have other problems. By the time y'all see this video, y'all see that video, but not really too concerned about the other problems that they got that we'll talk about the cap space. I think people are reading too much into it. But yeah, you're gonna see some more veterans get cut. I mean, then he was very immature in some of the things he did there. Remember, he subbed himself in as a captain versus the Carolina Panthers without the coach in, so because he was back home. I mean, he's been very childish. He's been very childish in some of his approaches. So he ain't even been a model citizen in the locker room. So he hasn't even been a model citizen in the locker room either. So, but he's very talented. That we can agree on. So apparently they knew that this was gonna happen. So they signed Nate Hobbs to a 4-year, $48 million contract. I don't even know who that is. Did he come from the Raiders? But his best football has been playing the nickel. So that's what they saying. But I mean, I don't really care about what they got going on. They just got tired of his antics and his lack of availability. So yeah, they got tired of that shit. But only scenario in which I could really see the Lions really picking him up, and if they move on from Amik Robertson, they trade him, and I think if they move on, he in the last year of his deal. I feel like if they trade Amik Robertson, I think that and then they trade. I think the only reason you trade him is because you're going to get a pass rusher. So they put him in a deal for a pass rusher, and then they sign him. They trade, and then I think they signed Jaire Alexander. Short of that, they secondary is pretty good. Brian Branch can come down and play nickel. The 2 corners, Terrion, DJ Reed. Then you got Ennis Ringshaw, whatever his name is, backing up. The outside corners, he moved from nickel back outside. Then, you got the Maddox guy they got from Eagles. So they pretty much loaded. So if they want to move on from Amik Robertson and possibly trade for Trey Hendrickson, then I think I start to think that may start to make some sense. So yeah, then I started to think, okay, if they're moving on from him, and they pick up a pass rusher, trade Amik for any pass rusher, then I was like, yeah, then I can see them picking up Jaire Alexander. But quite frankly, I don't see that happening. Had they not picked up DJ Reed, had they not picked up DJ Reed, I'm watching this DeMarcus Cousins video. They throwing beer on him. Cousins has been a problem his whole career, bro. That is crazy. Cousins has been a problem his whole career. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm kind of multitasking. That dude, he got into it with a fan last night. I don't know what basketball league this is, but he got into it with a fan last night. And then, he walking out the stadium and they start throwing beer on him. But yeah, I only see if they move like a Meek Robertson, and for a pass rusher, they move him or something like that. They pick up Jaire Alexander, but I don't really think he fit. What the Lions stand for and what they expect out of their players. That's my opinion. Some of the childish things he's done, some of the things he speak on, then you already got a defense that had 21, 22 players or something like that was on IR. He ain't been healthy his whole career. So, but in reality, he playing for a big contract. So, so maybe you get the best out of him. So I don't know who's gonna pick him up. Preferably preferably I think anybody can pick him up. Team that need a little bit of oomph. But if he can get on the contender and he can shine like Carlton Davis did last year, he can turn around and stay healthy. He was another guy that had a problem stay healthy, which he did have a problem stay healthy last year. Then I think he can get a big contract. So, but for Green Bay, they washed their hands of it. I think it was smart for them to wash their hands of it. Yeah, I think it was very smart. I think it was very smart for them to wash their hands of it, man. Dude is becoming irritant. He became a tyrant. Very talented, but at some point you gotta, if you ain't playing, okay, we're gonna let you get away with all this other stuff. But if you ain't playing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no. So, but yeah, I don't think he fit the Lions culture for one. Yeah, I don't think he fits the Lions culture. Yeah, I don't think he pretty much aligns with what the Lions are, the culture. But talent wise, he might come here and be the most talented corner. That's the type of talent he got. But just like Carlton Davis, when you need him most, physically he ain't gonna be there. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Lions South playlist. Peace.